Talk a little bit about the craziness at the airport. Oh my gosh.
Well, just the whole adventure of getting here, I think.
Yeah.
Because we started with my passport being expired and that insane day.
Tuesday night we found out because I made a terrible joke about how funny it would be if Ron's passport was expired when we got to the airport. And then as I was walking away, I was like, wait, that's not funny. What if it's expired? That's what went through my head. So I made...
And this is why you always knock on wood when you make awful jokes. Yeah.
So I made him check, and it was indeed expired. That night, he went to CVS and got passport photos.
Yeah, like 12:30.
Yeah. And then the next morning we got it.
It's like 6 a.m. and we're heading to the passport office to be there when they open to beg them to update my passport so we can fly
beg
to
them
Croatia.
and give them lots of money so that they update the passport.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I can't believe we're going to Croatia. I don't know what I would do if suddenly we realized your passport is expired. And the world was like, well, why don't we have you find out that question?
We're just arriving at the passport office.
First stop was Blue Bottle
Coffee.
while he printed.
Alright, wish us luck.
No food, no drink.
But anyways, then we had our co-op board package meeting
That night.
So I think we did that from like 7:30 until midnight.
Yeah. And we hadn't really packed because we did all that stuff that day instead of packing.
It's the morning of our trip to Croatia. We fly out this evening and
We're packing.
yeah, chaos ensues. Putting the final touches on board application and a little bit of work, and hopefully we're set. We're a little bit nervous.
Yeah. So not prepared.
Then we left for the airport hoping to get to a currency exchange in New York and ran out of time because traffic and transportation options were so awful.
It was ridiculous.
We ended up leaving for the airport 3 hours before our flight, and we were at our gate maybe 15 minutes before we boarded.
Yeah. Our flight says American Airlines operated by British Airways, and we went to American Airlines, and now we're in trouble. It was crazy.
Didn't even have an opportunity to change currency at the airport, let alone somewhere in Manhattan.
And JFK security, I've never really had that big of an issue with them. They move a lot of people to get you done. That went really, really quickly, and we had our bags at the gate, and I'm looking around, and our bags are so much bigger than what's allowed. They hassled this one guy who had a rolly bag that was probably half the size of the duffel that Ron was carrying. My bag.
Standing right next to me, right?
Standing right next to him, and they ended up checking his bag, and then Ron's like, I'm gonna walk around you, and walked onto the plane with his giant bag.
Unfortunately, they had no plugs on the plane and no Wi-Fi.
So all of our electronics were dying. We both were hoping to work, but we had no
1 hour
Wi-Fi.
of battery life on my laptop and couldn't plug it in, so I did as much as I could, as fast as I could for that 1 hour of battery life.
And then when he's finished, he was sitting in front of me. He finishes, turns around, and he's like, I had 6 minutes left on my laptop, and I actually got it done. Super impressive.
And
but the food was really good. They had this chicken curry. It was amazing. But the people were friendly as long as you didn't hassle them.
But a red eye to England is rough. It's like 2 hours of sleep.
Generally speaking, I thought that flight was fairly smooth, even though it didn't have the amenities we were hoping to have. It was still a pleasant flight.
So then...
And then we got off.
Deplane in London and walk out.
I noticed that the one guy had a sign that said Zagreb on it, so I was like, oh, is that us? Like, do we need... So then we decided to go walk back and, like, talk to him, and he's like, well, where are you going? We're like, Zagreb. And then he was like, well, that's what I'm here for.
I'm here for you too.
Yeah, so...
I'm going to usher you through the airport tunnel.
Yeah, so apparently if we took the normal way of getting through the airport, we didn't have enough time to get to our flight. The people that you have to pass that screen your bags, these people had barely anybody that they were sending through.
Like literally 4 people.
Yeah.
And it still took us longer to get through than JFK.
Yeah, and they were so mean about it. Like, they didn't tell you... So normally you take your laptop out and you can leave your iPad in. They didn't tell you that you take your iPad in, but if you left your iPad in, happened to both of us, they send it over to another spot and then it has to get hand searched. And then everything needs to get rerun through.
Oh, and they do this one person at a time.
Yeah.
So I got through, my stuff got rescreened, and I was packed up like relatively efficiently. And then some lady ends up between me and Diane.
And she had like her nail polish collection with her on the flight.
Oh, but she had like 10 like plastic bags just like tied in knots, like stuffed in the Louis Vuitton. So I had to like open each one and separate all the liquids and put it in the bag. And I guess you have an allotment of like liquid that has to fit in this tiny plastic bag.
I thought I was perfect. I took my laptop out, I had my quartz, I did everything right. And then I think we sat there for like...
I think it was a solid 15 minutes of the person sorting through her like various bags stuffed within bags and pulling out every bit of nail polish and then he was trying to explain to the lady, like, here's your allotment. It all has to fit in the bag.
It doesn't.
And, yeah, which it doesn't. So he, like, tried to stuff it, and it was just pouring out. And he's like, whatever doesn't fit gets thrown away.
Like,
so
choose what's important.
Want. And this lady keeps just saying, I want all of it.
So she didn't speak English super well. So for a long time, she didn't understand that she could only have a quart. And that it had to be closed. Went back and forth for a little bit, so that took a while. And then they have to rerun everything through. And then he gets to me, and it's just my iPad. Like, if I had known... I super wish that, like, someone had just told me your iPad, too. Because I would have taken it out, and I would have been cleared, and it would have been fine. They were holding the plane for us.
Like, the guy that was ushering us was literally on the cell phone, like... Hey, like, we just made it through security, we'll be right there.
Like, we're coming, don't close the gate, like, don't close it. And so, like, he gets us there, and then the guy looks at our bags, he's like, those are too big.
But there's not time, so
he's like, and then he goes to the other guy, and he's
go.
like, is the hole closed? Like, what's going on? And the guy's like, yeah, it's closed. Like, he's like, okay, then just take him on the plane. And then we get to the plane, and then the guy, like, letting us on the plane is like, those bags are way too big.
I was like, yeah, the guy upstairs just gave us grief, so they like took him and checked him, and they did actually make it to Zagreb,
which was amazing. Like, I
got maybe up to 3 hours of sleep, and then Diane was still on 2, and we landed in Zagreb. We were able to like get some water and a bit of food.
A little bit of food. Arrived in Croatia. I destroyed my sandwich. And Ron is already working.
Alright, we're both in.
Yay!
We made it to Croatia!
And I'm really tired. That was crazy.
Yeah, getting to London was insane. Alright, car adventure time.
Yeah, right? Navigator, go!
Driving into that we were going to the beach. We just saw our first sign for revenge. We're like almost here.
Man, I think the guy taught me how to say thank you. I think he said voila. Because I said thank you and he said it like multiple times, so I think
Voila.
yeah, I think he was trying to tell me that's how you say thank you. So I'm gonna, the next time someone does something for me, I'm gonna say voila and I'm gonna see what they do.
So here's our seating area. Look at this. So our bathroom's in here? Oh, wow.
So cool. Oh, nice shower.
What? I'd say this is a pretty decent room, huh?
It's okay. But it worked. We got here and we got to the hotel and it's a beautiful view.
Well, we made it. Good job.
Yes.
Success.
We're here. Time for dinner. We were just about to sit down and record and we heard this tiny little knock on the door. It was so nice. And then she was like, just a room check, making sure you have everything you need. Do you want anything? And then she hands Ron these cute little, they're so cute.
Let's see if we can
Look delicious. So I'm gonna eat one.
focus on the thing. There we go. Oh, yummy.
Right? There's like delicious raspberry inside. Mmm. That's really good.
That was okay with me.
Mm-hmm.